Oh, sometimes my life.
Or if you redo it, it might not take as long.
I got it.
Hmm?
Sketching the. Might do.
Remember the first compliment I ever gave you?
Little. Oh, how do you like your eye? You're a goof.
No, I didn't say how you have a beautiful eye. I
No,
said,
no. You said, "How do you like your eye?" That's why I was confused. I was like, "What do you mean? How do I like my my?"
didn't you have that thing on?
No, not yet. It's not turned on yet. And if it is on, then it doesn't matter.
No, I meant like you had that patch on.
No, I didn't. I never
Did
had
I
a.
have a patch on?
No.
You had an eye patch on, babe.
I'll tell you, I didn't. I never wear eye patches because I can't see.
I thought you did.
All right, let's do this. Not made for children, right? All right, we are live. Hey everybody, if you're just joining me right now, I am going to go through I'm going to go through a drawing of Horus, and it's going to be a fun little sketch. I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to worry about making this a masterpiece or anything like that. Not that any of my stuff is masterpieces, but you know. All right, there's the live stream right there. Ooh, don't want any. Watching myself. Hi, anyone and everyone. There we go. That way I know that this thing is working. Let's begin. I'm going to give a little bit of history as I talk and kind of talk about Horus. If you don't know who Horus is, he is a god from Egypt in the later Ptolemaic, I can't ever say that word, Ptolemaic era of Egypt. The later, pretty much when Roman times have come through and participated in the Egyptian, you know, when they were around. Got some chill Egyptian music going on. I'm going to be doing this for about an hour. So let's begin. So, got this really cool book from Barnes& Noble. If you don't know, Barnes& Noble has these books for sale oftentimes in the bargain section for like $10. And they have such amazing content. It's just brilliant. So we're going to find Horus real quick. Okay, so this was probably Horus right here. No, that's probably Seth. Oh, this is Horus. So this is a statue of Horus, and he stands at the entrance of the hypostyle hall at the temple of Edfu. Don't know what Edfu is. Don't know what a hypostyle hall is either. I have been to Egypt. I have gone to Luxor, Thebes, Cairo, and pretty much the whole Nile I sailed. I did not make it to Alexandria. I wanted to, but my time was limited, and then there was a terrorist attack on my area where I was staying, so I went home. Here we go, another dope horse. Now Horus is portrayed as like this falcon-faced god, and he is the god of war, protection, the sky. Let's see, what else? Healings, you know. And yeah, he's a royal powerhouse kind of dude. Really cool. Always fancied him. And I would like to give my interpretation of what he looks like. I'm going to be taking some of the hieroglyphs and interpreting them a little bit, as well as some of these statues. You can see here, let me try not to hit my mic. This is a photograph of one of the papyrus. I believe this is a papyrus picture of it, but he's not very detailed. He has a skirt. I'm going to call it a skirt. I don't know what it's called. It's probably a fine linen of some sort. Okay, these guys are all sitting. These are not what you think they are. I mean, I guess it could be. They'll all be stacked. Anyways, the falcon head coming in with bracelets on here, right? And then one up here. And the neck region will have it. So I'll probably do that. Eventually I'll get to this guy. Anubis and Osiris are really rad. And if you've ever seen Moon Knight, is it the Moon Knight? Marvel? You'll recognize the croc and the hippo gods and stuff. Yeah. So let's begin. If you don't know who I am, my name is Joshua Lamb. I am an artist, currently based in LA. Enjoying my lovely time. If you haven't seen my previous drawing, I did a Spartans for a tattoo for my brother, and I am going to be doing today Horus. Now I have some aged paper. At least it looks aged. I really enjoy a toned paper versus a really bright white paper. It's not fun to draw on. And sorry, I am getting over sickness, so let's begin. And since my paper is small, I am going to zoom in for you. Oh, I am zoomed in all the way. Never mind. Okay, that's as far zoomed as I can get. I'm going to try to brighten this up a little bit so you can see. There we go. That's a 6.4. That's pretty good. Okay. So, Horus. Kind of need that book open to see. Now, many people know the Eye of Horus, you know, it's very popular. Eye of the hippo. Where did Horus go? Here we go. Here's my boy. That's not a good picture. I have been kind of blessed with, when I was in Egypt, I met some amazing Egyptians that taught me a few things, as well as let me handle some artifacts and ancient artifacts that I probably should not have touched with my hands, but they were very nice. And yeah, some of these diggers, what they'll do is when they find enough of these artifacts, they'll take some for themselves and probably sell them or keep them. I don't know what to do, but I was thankful to enjoy a few pieces that were found in the desert, and I think he had the head of Horus from who knows, probably 2000 BC. I mean, not 2000 BC. What am I talking? From around the BC era. All right. Well, you know what? I lost the picture. Is Horus here? Okay. I can't seem to find it. The picture of Horus that I had. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's begin. So in this one, usually when I draw, I try to draw some kind of form of what they're going to be doing. I think this one I'm just going to have fun and doodle as I go. I'm trying to draw every single day. It's extremely difficult to get on time because in the mornings I'm quite busy in the morning, and then like tomorrow I'll have to wake up at 4 a.m. just to get this drawing done before I have to go to work. So if I'm missing days and you're like, well, he's not very consistent, this is because I'm still trying to figure out, it's day 5, day 4, whatever, to figuring out how to stay on schedule and make it work with my schedule. But I'll get the hang of it eventually. So as you can see, I have Horus just screaming out right now. I kind of want him like commanding something. But we're just going to go with the flow right now. It's a fierce looking falcon right there. I'm a big fan of falcons, big fan of peregrines. They are amazing creatures. Anytime I see one, I pretty much have to pull over and just watch it because it's just that cool. Now for the eyes, I'm trying to replicate the eye of Horus, which is, if anyone knows what the eye of Horus looks like. Trying to find it. Ah. You can kind of see it kind of looks like that. I don't think this is it. This is Osiris. Oh, it is Eye of Horus, right? Okay. And fetishes of Anubis. Honestly, I don't know which eye is Horus, but they have a similar thing going down below. That's what we're going off of. What did I just drop? The pen that I need, of course. Did I just forget what it looks like? No, I didn't. Okay. So he has human arms. Sorry, my nose is going at it. Let's see if I get this mic closer so you guys can hear me. Horus goes by a whole bunch of names like Hor, Ha, Her, He, Ha, something like that. He's known for his battle between Seth, his uncle, in the myth. You know, he just fights it up, and he's also known as the Wejat, or the Eye of Ra, which symbolizes protection and healing. I'm not going to show this in this drawing because I just want to show him fighting because he's also, he's a fighter. Yeah. Now the question is, what should he be doing with his body? I love how I lost this picture again. Man. Just need to remember the page number. Here we go. 291. Okay, so yeah, this shouldn't be here. This should follow the lines of the eye. And then he has a very flat head, so but I'm going to give him just some feathers kind of going out. This line is just to keep me. I don't know if he has weapons, but kind of want his hand like grabbing somebody, you know? It would be kind of nice that he's holding a spear and thrusting it into somebody, but I don't know if he uses a spear. Okay. I'm just going to give my imagination what I want, so I'm going to do this. The elbow. Okay. So here's where I made the mistake. His elbow's way off. And if he is doing that, then his muscle would be crinkled up and it wouldn't be so stretched. So I have to rebalance his arm. Actually, you know what? Forget the spear. I'm going to do a sword this time. He's just going to have a blade. I blade's better anyways. I guess most people will be watching this. It's like midnight, right? So I apologize. Nope. Ah! Bending my pages. All right. No, he's not supposed to be proportional because he's a god. He's just abnormally scary. He's got big arms, big shoulder blades. Then from the shoulders he'll have this structure. From here he'll have a if you're learning to draw, you do want to learn proportions the best you can. But when it comes to fantasy, proportions go out the window. So don't worry so much. Like, he is not proportionate. There's no bones here, and there's muscles in certain areas. But do I care? Nope. I do not. Okay. That's it. That's the drawing. Now let's ink it. I'm using the graphic brush. So I just want to lay out the lines. Like, go in and fill it all in. It's already looking good. Honestly, sometimes I just get lucky. With the poses and the shape and the form and the inking and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just pure luck. And I mean, sometimes I mean 98% of the time. was Friday. I will likely have to do a live stream for my card game, but it depends because I don't get off work till late. So we will see. Okay. If you don't know, Horus is actually the son of Osiris and Isis. Which I don't remember how he was born, but yeah, most Egyptian gods are animals. They all play a part in telling the mythology of the Egyptian culture and history and all that good stuff. I'm gonna stop using the brush. I don't like the brush. I'm gonna go to just do some fine detailing and work this way. Yeah. Excuse me. Oops, hitting the mic. So, here's a cool fun fact, is that the Eye of Horus, you know that eye thing that you see in so many things, it's actually used as an Egyptian measuring tool. Yeah, it's actually a fraction. So they would use it as like representing a fraction. A counting tool is the Eye of Horus. Yeah, I know, right? I used to think it was it just meant they were watching you, everything you did. But nope. Egypt, they used everything profoundly in a very unique way. I mean, these are the guys who built the pyramids. We still are confused about it. Fun fact, I climbed one of the pyramids when I was there. Not the big Pyramid of Giza, the big ones, but there's actually 3 smaller ones that are right next to it. And back in the day, you could get away with a lot more because the rules weren't so strict. I actually had a guard. So everyone there has like machine guns and stuff like that. One of the guards got pissed at me and took my camera from me. I was really mad because it wasn't mine, it was my mom's. And she would kill me if I didn't get it back from her. So either way, I was going to die. So I was like, I argued with the guy in his office while they had 2 guards with guns on me, yelling at me. And I was like, I don't care. You're giving me my camera back or you're going to shoot me, one or the other. And after a while, he just wanted me to delete some pictures, so I acted like I deleted them. But, you know, the power of not speaking Egyptian. I mean, I spoke a little bit at the time because I had learned it just to get there and get around, but... Oh, man, it was sketchy. Oh. Yeah, sketchy. I got my camera back, though. Yeah. But as for climbing the pyramids, these friends of mine that were kind of showing me around were like, no, you can't do that. That's impossible. I was like, watch me do it. So I just paid the guard off, and then there you go. Get things done. But we were careful not to damage it and stuff. Don't worry. I'm respectful to most things that I go to and cultures I go to. So here, I'm just drawing, I'm just outlining all the details that I want to have Horus kind of be shaped around. Sorry, I'm going to make a mess if I don't have gloves on. What is happening with this? Oh my gosh. So this is what happens when your hand's a little sweaty and you try to put it in a nitrite glove. There we go, much better. Much more comfortable putting my hand on the screen. Sometimes I just do weird things with the pen and just kind of, like, does that need to be there? No. I'm going to have to make up something for it? Yes. But I like breaking my image up and trying to figure out how I can make it work. And if the outline looks really good, then it feels good to me. So I have his hand here, and the way the blade should work is, I don't know if Egyptians have, man, I don't know actually, that's a good question. Let's see. Oh, the frame rate changes a lot from this angle. Okay, that's not bad. I can make that work. And then the curved handle would be good. I like the curved handle. And that means I have to get his hand here. His hand goes up, and then here, and then yeah, that'll have to do. All right. So in situations like this, I don't want to have to draw the details. What I'll do is I'll outline it, silhouette it, or put the shadows in. Save me some time, as well as it builds form. Alright, so I can just color that all in black, and then know that'll be okay. Sorry for the sniffling. Let's add a rope right here. Why did I add rope there? There's no reason to. It just looks cool. It's the only reason. Just not to confuse anybody. Right. Horus has some weirdly different patterns. I'm just going to make them up a little bit. Oh man, I messed up on that one because I didn't know where to go with the line. I probably should have went higher. So in these kind of mistakes, you just have to make thicker lines to cover up your mistake. And then if you add shading and gradients, it hides it even better. Oh, I can't see right now, sorry. That's good. This little thing is weird. I don't know what this is for, but we'll just make it seem like it's going around something to make it look like I did it on purpose, which I did do it on purpose. I just don't know why I did it. Okay. Now this is where it would just be a wrinkle. And then, you know what? Let's just have fun with this. We'll say that's part of his sheath, you know? My gosh. I wasn't sniffling all day, and then all of a sudden I'm sniffling now. Okay. I had ropes here somewhere. Oh yeah. So I forgot to draw them in. I remember sailing the Nile with a group of Egyptians, and it was so cold. I thought I was gonna die. I literally thought I was gonna die. Everyone else seemed okay, but for some reason they gave me like this really terrible blanket, and it was just like a carpet. It wasn't even a blanket. It was just a carpet. It was hard. It was rough. It was carpet from their boat. And I was freezing to death. I was so confused. I thought Egypt was supposed to be really, really hot. Nope. It is really, really cold. At least that night it was. Oh my gosh, it was brutal. I was like, I'll give you $1, just give me a blanket. He did though. He gave me that rug. Funny thing was, the captain of the little boat that we're sailing with, he stopped in a small village, and they went to go do something in the village, and they were being all sketchy about it. But I'm a photographer and stuff and videographer, so I was like, I'm joining. And they looked at me like, no. I was like, why? What are y'all doing? He's like, we're just going into town. You can't join. I'm like, just let me join you. And I joined, and they were just gonna get some pot, and I was like, oh, that's why you didn't want me to join. What is with this?
So well.
Wrong button. Why is there commercials on my music? Sorry about the commercial. I do not support cleaning products like that. Just let you know. Okay, there we go. Back to normal. If you haven't been to Egypt, definitely go. Definitely go to Luxor. Definitely go to Cairo. The history and beauty in that country is amazing. I'm not going to say you're going to have a great time because the culture's a little bit rough. Everybody's trying to sell you stuff that you don't need. And they will con you every half millisecond. So know your Egyptian Arabic because you're going to need to use it a lot. Because they know that you don't know much Egyptian, I mean, like how they treat people, and then they'll get you into a room and you'll end up leaving with a fake bottle of perfume that costs you $20 because they won't let you go until you get it, right? I mean, Egypt's become a tourist spot that's just out of control. But there are good people there. There's really good food there. They have some really cool. There's this place called Trash Village in Egypt. Really dope. It's all made of trash, pretty much. It's like they live for trash. Like the trash is put, all of Egypt's trash is put in this one area village of Cairo, and then they sift through it to make their living, and they make it into plastics and recycle it or whatever. I have a couple photographs of it. It's intense. Another cool thing is that they don't put roofs on their buildings because the government said that any buildings with roofs on them have to pay taxes and stuff. So they're like, well, then we're not going to put roofs on our buildings. And they didn't. And we don't have to pay taxes. So a lot of buildings won't have roofs. At least when I went. All right, Horus, you're looking good. But we need to color you in, bud. Using the graphic 1. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm not sure if anybody's watching actually, but if you are, by all means, interact. I'll be done in like 15 minutes though. I'm not doing a full detail. I'm just having fun sketching, talking about the history and Horus and Egypt. Listening to this weird Egyptian lo-fi beat music, which I think they could have done better, honestly. But thankful that they even have it. Oh, man. I don't know, my battery ain't got much time anyways. So, what's the mythology of Horus? Well, I think it starts with Osiris, right? The father. The way it works is that Horus and Seth are the sons of Osiris, who ruled Egypt, right? Really well. Everybody loves Osiris. Oh. Shoes, the Osiris shoes are not that good. If you know what I'm talking about, skateboarding shoes, not great. But Osiris was murdered by Seth, his jealous brother. Horus's brother, I believe. Man, I'm getting this mixed up. Seth could be Osiris' brother? No. No. Wait, I'm trying to think of how it worked. Anyways, Horus was born and raised in secret by Isis, his mom. And, you know, he got all buff and stuff and then was like, I'm going to avenge my father's death and reclaim the throne. And so he's like, Seth, you're going down, buddy. So in which he went on this quest and he confronts the gods and seeks the support of reclaiming the throne that was stolen by Seth. And some of the gods sided with Horus because they saw that, like, man, Seth is a jerk and he needs to be taken out. And Horus is like, I'm gonna do the do, get it done, fight this guy. And yeah. And so I don't know if they fought. I don't know the full. My mythology and stuff is a little bit rusty, but there was a Judge Thoth, who judged the fight. I believe it was. Maybe it was a court kind of thing. I don't know. It lasted a while though. It was like 80 years of testing or something like that. So I think it was like contest. They were put him and Seth were put into contest to see who could do better. So they had all these different challenges and stuff to get there, and you know how smart they were, magical powers, and all that blah blah blah. And then they finally had that cool battle where Horus and Seth like transformed into these beasts and creatures and like fought in the sky, and it kind of represents like the struggle of Egypt, I guess. At that time, I believe the Roman Empire was kind of making its way in, and Egypt was having a difficulty time with the modern era coming through. For the longest time, they were the strong power in the Middle East and Northern Africa and stuff. As you can see, that they're just geniuses, but that would come to an end through Cleopatra, I believe. And Alexander the Great. Yeah. Alright, so now that I'm shading in this right here, you can see more of the detail of this. Music's loud, man. Can't even hear myself think. I could be wrong on some of this history, so if I am wrong on this history, please do inform me and write it in the comments. I'm just going off of bad information probably, and bad knowledge, bad memory. I got this book here that's supposed to explain it all, but I got time to read it to you guys. Now you're wondering why his head's so big. His head's big because he's a god. And gods are always big-headed, so a lot of air up there in their brains. But eventually, they ruled in favor for Horus and said that he's the heir, and Seth was banished and subdued and all that jazz. I guess depending on, I mean, that's what I think. I remember he was beaten and cast out or something. And Horus becomes like a pharaoh character, and he's got this divine kinship, you know, to bring in a new era of prosperity and all that jazz to Egypt because he won and he's been chosen. I mean, that's rough. That's like the rough history of it. Now, did this really happen? Was there really a god named Horus? And was he a falcon? Obviously not. But I like to imagine there was, just for kicks and giggles. I mean, why not? We believe in all kinds of crazy stuff on this planet. Might as well believe that there was a Horus and stuff. I mean, it's kind of fascinating that someone created these stories and it became a religion, you know? With such wild attributes. Like, did the people actually believe that there was a falcon god? Or Isis or Osiris and all these kind of things? Probably not. They were probably intelligent enough to say no. But there were probably sectors and parts of the religion that got carried away and people did believe, you know? As with anything else, with any religion, period, there's always the fanatics. But in Egypt, you know, back in those days, it was different, so. All right. Let's see. Okay. So, let's shade in this so get his head fixed. Man, these sniffles are killing me. I'm sorry, guys, if you hear me sniffle every half second. It is the beginning of the year, and I am diseased with a cold. If my hair's getting in the way, I apologize for that too. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my stuff. Or don't. I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know. So, this is very comic booky right now. But it always starts this way. And then once I put in all the details and stuff, it becomes very complicated and fun. All right. So he's looking good. I'm going to start doing some fun little details for about 10 minutes and call it quits. Just to show you what it might be. Come on. Yeah, I guess not. My dog is being difficult. Alright, let's switch views so you can get some close-up of detailing what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll draw like this, just for the sake, for the camera's sake. Now I'm using the point style because honestly it gives the maximum amount of detail for consistent and simple amount of effort. And like I said before, though this looks very comic book style, very like just cartoon, all these details will eventually be put in, and then it won't be so much cartoon, it'll be more of like a historical piece in art. You can see here, I'm going to just, golly. excuse me, I apologize. I would love to go back and actually do my historical style of all the gods of Egypt. Osiris, Isis, Horus, Seth, and Thoth, and all the characters that make up the beautiful mythology of Egyptian culture and ancient Egypt's just mythology. One of my goals is to get the archaeologist in Egypt to hire me to come out there and draw these artifacts and these dig sites. I'm a big, 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 absurd fan of archaeology, and I owe that to Indiana Jones. I grew up with the Indiana Jones indie, and always dreamt of just being on these radical adventures, running away from people trying to steal artifacts, but me trying to protect it, you know? So when I went to Egypt, I actually paid some boatmen to allow me to go over and excavate some areas that, these caves and stuff, and I eventually just got chased out by bats. Not the people, bats chased me out. I'm terrified of bats, apparently. Who knew? And bats don't play around because they've got diseases and junk. And yeah, I went into this one like excavated site, and I just heard this little small chirping. I was like, oh, cool. And I kept on going a little bit further. It was dark, and I just got my little flashlight. And all of a sudden, those little eyes beaming out and the screeching sounds, and I'm out there running like a goof, running back to the boat. Bats flying at me. It was fun. I think I got footage of it too. I gotta see if I gotta look for it. It's all on my VHS, like an old recorder I used back in the day. Yeah. Egypt is wild. Maybe one day I'll show you what I got from Egypt. Maybe. So, I don't know if you could see, but the image is already transforming into a more detailed image. And I'm just flowing with the feathers here. I'm not drawing out the feathers yet. So there are tons of techniques to figure out how you want to draw your characters, and if you want to do this style where you're doing a pencil and then blocking out the shadows and then moving inwards, absolutely fine. But you can literally do whatever you want. You don't have to follow rules in art, and that's why I love art. Art's about breaking rules, doing things your way, just getting to the result that you desire. And I tell my students, like, fail, 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 draw, don't be scared, do it. Don't like it, you know, don't make it a masterpiece, just put it out there. And then once you're done, you'll feel better. And it'll be an easier process. And in here, you're going to see that I have these straight lines, and I have these dots. How will they merge? They're going to slowly blend into themselves, and I'll show you. So I'm going to just draw out the lines for where the feathers, oh my gosh, it's late, kind of morph into the scene. Right? Oh, you know what I could show you guys though while I'm at it? I actually have a knife I got from Egypt. Let me switch the camera up. This is a blade from I'm gonna guess it was Luxor. Now you can see it's cheaply made. It's obviously just slammed together. Not sharp at all. It's dull. It's a gimmick, I think. If anything, it could be used. I could sharpen it. It could work. I bought it just because it was cheap and it looked fantastic. You know, this marble is real marble, and the metals. I mean, they just represent the culture. When I go to countries, I always find the people who are hidden in the back alleys, and I find the ones that look like oftentimes drug dealers or black market people, because they will always have stuff that they're not, that no one else is selling, that, you know, and that's how you get the good stuff. I've got stuff that's weirdly sketchy and cool, and stuff that makes me so proud to have found. And it's because, you know, I think tourists often, especially most people that I know, would never do these kind of things because they're afraid. It's fear. I mean, who wouldn't be afraid? You're going into a back alley. Okay. So I was shopping in Luxor, and getting hassled by Egyptians is just not fun. So I don't really buy anything. I just act like I'm. This is going to sound racist, but please don't think I'm racist. I act like I'm Chinese, because they're not going to worry. They're not going to try to hustle me if they think I'm Chinese. They're like, oh, he's Chinese. Like, Chinese people are going to hustle Egyptians. It's so true, though. Egyptians don't want to wrestle and argue with Chinese people. They'll argue with any other Asian pretty much, but you know, you gotta hand it to the Chinese. They know how to make a bargain, and they know how to debate when it comes to prices and stuff. Anyways, it works out well. So I went to this one place where there's a bracelet, and this guy, this Egyptian dude, had, you know, he was full on. He looked straight up, all the way hardcore Egyptian, but he had something different about him. He had this Freemason ring on, and to me that seemed a little bit dangerous for the culture back in the day, for Freemasons to be anywhere represented in the Egyptian culture and the Islamic, you know, state and stuff like that, areas at least. And he said he was a very international guy. He had tons of friends, and he knows a lot of international people. And I was like, oh, interesting. Your English is actually kind of good. But he didn't. The thing that sold me was that he didn't try to sell me on any of the bracelets or anything. He didn't try to scam me. He didn't even care. He said, I'm just watching the stand for a friend. You can buy it, or you don't have to buy it. And I was like, interesting. So I talked to him about his ring, got talking, and then he's like, I would like to have tea with you. And I was like, oh yeah, or a hookah. I was like, let's do it. So we went out to this cafe, had a hookah and a smoke and a coffee and a tea. And then he invited me back to his place. And I was like, this is where I'm going to go die. Because at that point we were getting closer to outskirts of the city, so it was a little bit more sketchy. Not outskirts, but like in the alleyways, I guess. And something just told me to trust the dude. He seemed very trustable, so I followed him and went up to his place. Very minimalistic, bare, concrete home. The moment he walked in, he took off his head wrap and headscarf and all that, and sat down. And then, you know, he went into the back room and got this box, and a small little box, and he brought it and dropped it in front of me, and he opened it up, and it was all these photographs of him as a young man, and he just gets older and older, and he's with all these different foreigners. And I thought that was spectacular. I was like, first of all, who's giving you these photos to just keep around? And I wish I had given him mine, because I would have been fit in that collection of his history. And yeah, it was quite amazing because he really trusted me after nothing. I'm like, you don't even know me. Why would you trust me? And he brought out another box full of artifacts and stuff, like legitimate stuff that he got from digs, and showed me. And I was like, this is crazy. And he let me touch them and hold them and examine them, and he even asked if I wanted one. I was like, nope, no, 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 no. As much as that's a very kind gesture, I don't want to get in trouble. And that's. I mean, I don't even know what am I going to do with the head of a Horus that's 2,000 years. I mean, 4,000 years old. Whatever old that is thing. It's like this. It's in great condition. It's just been chopped off the statue. I guess through time it fell off or something. I don't know. But you know, most people would not take that opportunity to do something like that. I'm not most people. I travel. I just trust that God's gonna take care of me, and always has. Multiple, many times. And people are just really sweet once you give them the opportunity to be that. So, if you're traveling to places, be cautious, but also sometimes take a risk if it's worth it. I always think this is worth it. I mean, now that I'm married and have responsibilities here, I wouldn't take these risks anymore, right? When you're single, young, able to outrun people, you could do those kind of things. Okay. No, horse is looking good, but we gotta fix some stuff. Because this is supposed to be dots, so I need to get these lines into dots. So what you do is you take a line and then you start doing the whole spotted things beside it, and then next thing you know, you can just merge it into the dots, and it should look pretty good. Now, if you're a starting artist, not a starving artist, if you're a starving artist, please get some food. But if you're a starting artist, I would tell you to really build confidence in pens. Maybe not even use a pencil for a while, just use pens to draw your stuff. It really builds confidence in your line work, teaches you steadiness, teaches you a lot of things that you could use with your pencils and your paintbrushes. It's my favorite form of art because ink, for some reason, without the color, just stands out. And I'm a big fan of bold lines, thin lines, and all these kind of lines to tell a story. Where's the camera? Okay, we're doing good. Yeah, nice. Love how it says I have one concurrent viewer, but I think that's actually me watching myself to make sure that I'm in the right angles and answering. I'm my biggest fan. I wish they had a video game that was about the gods fighting each other, like all gods around the world. You know, you could have Horus and Buddha. You could even bring in Jesus into this to throw down some cool fighting tactics, you know. But I think the winner, if let's say all the gods actually did go at it, outside of like the Christian God, where he's like be infinitely impossible to beat, but most gods are, you know, they have human aspects and attributes to them. I think the Indian gods would destroy. Like India has gods with like 25 arms or something, and they're enormous, and they've got all these swords and blades and weapons. Yeah, I would say they win. I would love to start drawing those guys. I gotta find out the rules of drawing them though, because I know you can have images of them. Obviously they do, but I remember photographing a statue of Buddha. Some lady got so mad at me because I was above the head of Buddha, and you're not supposed to be above the head of Buddha, I guess, taking photos, and it's just like disrespectful. So I definitely don't want to hurt someone's feelings because of my lack of, or my ignorance on things. Then again, it might be inevitable. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet. Okay, so alright. I'm almost done just kind of showing you my detail work for Horus. If you found this educational, fun, soothing, or really, 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 really dumb, please like and subscribe. Show a friend some love. And if you choose not to, that is absolutely fine. I'll just pray to the gods for famine and all kinds of stuff. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Well, you're all good. You do you, you know? You do you. I want you to be happy. I want you to be joyful about your day. I want you to know that you are a creative, no matter if you think you are or not. To wake up and do anything in the day takes creativity. To put up with people, to sell items, to take care of kids. It takes an immense amount of creativity. We've just been trained to think that unless it's in a piece of art, it's not really creative, which isn't true. Art is just one form of expressing all that creativity you have and your friends have, you know. Okay, so I'm done for the night. We're gonna finish this later because I am tired. I have not gotten much sleep. Thank you for watching. Any technical issues, I apologize. And look how sweaty that is. That's why I didn't get on. Ugh. You're probably wondering why I wear gloves. Until my anyways, I just like wearing gloves. It just makes me feel like I can get things dirty and not worry about stuff. Again, if you have any ideas what you want me to draw or try out or talk about during my live streams, which are going to be Monday through Friday, I'm going to try to do them early in the morning. You know, for me it'd be like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., but it might be like 8 a.m. for you when you're going to work. And that's what I was trying to aim for, people going to work, because I know when I go to work in the morning, I like to have something kind of soothing to hear someone talk about, and art and just kind of fun stuff that I enjoy. And that's what this channel is going to be for, is talking about history, talking about art, talking about my adventures through it, and how to become a professional artist and a traveler. My wife and I do a lot of traveling, and we enjoy sharing our knowledge and experiences with people. So please, also, her channel is Charlotte Takes a Bite. You'll like it if you like food. Go for it. And there are plenty of other artists out there that are phenomenal. You know, David Finch, he's an amazing artist that I learned from. You can also do Todd McFarlane. And these are great comic book artists. That's more of what this looks like. And my Spartan is more of a comic book look, you know what I mean? So, if you like it, that's what you can do. But that is not my full-on style of art that I will be doing my main pieces. I will show you real quick. These are my main ones that take a lot longer to work on. You can see the detail is far more intense here. So I would like to do, as much as you might think that this would turn into a comic book, eventually that's what this would turn like into, right? Hyper detail, yellow page, more of a toned page, I mean. And this one's on the indigenous. I'm doing a series on the indigenous. I'm doing a documentary on indigenous, so. These are my pieces. They will be. Maybe I'll make these available through my Patreon or something if I get a Patreon going. But as of right now, we're just having fun with live streams until I can get my artistic mind back into accomplishing good stuff. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great night. Get some great rest. And remember, you are amazing. You are enough. And you are creative. So make cool stuff. Make stuff that you enjoy. And I will see you guys